So I know how much you guys loved my first pasta video, so this time I'm going to show you how to make homemade ravioli using a pasta maker, which makes it slightly easier to do. So you can check out my previous video to see how to make pasta from scratch. I'm just using the dough, the same method that I make all my pastas, and splitting that in half to get a smaller section and rolling it out into a shape that will easily fit into the pasta maker. So you want to make sure that you lightly sprinkle some flour on each side before you run it through the largest setting, which is a 0, and laminate it. And to laminate it, it just means to fold it over 2 or 3 times until you get a more rectangular shape. That way that your pasta will be easier to use and more uniform. So after that, you're going to run it through each setting twice, from 0 all the way up to 7. So 7 will give you the correct thinness that you need for your ravioli, because you don't want them too thick. They will expand once you're cooking them. And throughout the process, you want to just keep sprinkling a little bit of flour on both sides so that it doesn't stick in the machine. And so now I think I was at setting number 6 and it got really long, so I cut it in half to make it easier to manage. And you'll know when it's the correct thinness if you are just using a roller instead of a pasta maker, when you could read a newspaper through it. It should be that sheer and translucent. So once you have it to your thickness, you're going to place it on the ravioli maker and place the mold on top, just to create some space in order for you to put your filling. And I'll include the recipe to the ravioli filling on this video. I'll also leave a link to all the pasta equipment that I used in my Amazon store, and that'll be linked on this video as well. So this was just a mixture of ricotta, Parmesan, parsley, mozzarella, garlic, salt, and I think that's all. So yeah, once you get it in there, you're going to dip your finger in a little bit of water to place around the edges just to seal it, and then use a roller to roll over the top of it in order to make the ravioli so that they easily come out of the mold. And you're just going to repeat this process until you finish using all of the filling. And these actually are really great to freeze. So you can make as many as you want and then have some left over for another day. They freeze really well. And if you don't want to make all the ravioli, or you still have some leftover dough, on the opposite side of this you can make fettuccine noodles. So yeah, it's a super simple process, really easy to make your own pasta. I don't know why it took me this long, because I love doing it. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, for this batch I'm putting them on this flat plate just so that they all freeze uniformly. And yeah, I'll put the recipe for the sauce as well, because I made a homemade pasta sauce that was super delicious. It's crazy how much things taste so much better when they're homemade than out of a can. So once your ravioli has dried for a few minutes after you make them, you only need to boil them for about 5 minutes. That's how quick homemade pasta cooks up. So after I drained it and placed it in a bowl, I'm adding my homemade sauce on top, and that's it. My homemade ravioli. I hope you guys like this recipe. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you in my next video.